Hi, welcome back to some technology training. So now you have learned the 5-step invite basics. So now it's time to add to your Asana and it's basically a funnel. So I'm going to show you what you're going to be setting up now. So I want you to log in to asana.com again with your account. If you haven't done this already, go back, look at the first video about how to set up Asana, get your funnel started, and set that up first. Now, there's so many reasons that this is important, and it's important to track people this way. It's the easiest way. Pen and paper, you're going to lose it. Spreadsheet, it just gets tricky. It's a flow, because with what we're doing, what you want is you want a funnel. We want as many people at the beginning, and then we just keep funneling them down, finding people that we can help that have a need and that would be great coaches and great challengers. So the better we get at this, the larger our funnel will be, and also the more targeted to niche market. So when you're adding people to your Facebook request, when you're adding people to your July group, don't pick people that you think, I don't even understand them. Why would they post things like that? Why would they post so many weird BuzzFeed things, or like weird thing about like mice wearing lipstick or whatever is just not gelling with you? Don't put them on your prospect list. You're not going to know how to talk to them. You want people that are what you call your lifers. These are people that either are where you are in life or a little bit like you're a little bit ahead. People that are going to look at you and be like, I get her, I trust her because she understands me. So if that's like don't mess with people. I mean, you may attract people somehow that are not in your, like you don't get, and they may be awesome, and that's great. But for the most part, you need to really know who your person is, and don't underestimate or overlook your roots. And so that could be high school, college, elementary school. Those are good warm market where you should start. Start with warm market. Talk to your family members, call them up and be like, hey, I just started this new business opportunity. I'm really, really excited about it, and I need some testimonials. So would you be willing to sign up as my first, tester for just a month, just to get me some, testimonies? Would you be willing to do that? And then start the 5-step invite. If they're like, well, what do I have to do? You're like, okay, well, first of all, do you have any fitness and health goals? Or like, hey, I know that there's a lot of cancer in our family. Did you know, blah, 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 blah. And get your family to be your first testers. And then move on to your friends. And you're not going to ask them for a favor like that. You're just going to put them on your prospect list, and you're going to reconnect with them and reach out to them. And then once you've done that and connected with them, hopefully they'll see your posts that you make about the challenge groups then, and they'll come to you. But otherwise, then you're going to just invite them. And so let me kind of show you what that looks like. So we've got Facebook friend requests, prospects, and then this interest group. So once you have spent time on your interest group, and going through here, your next goal is to move it to an invite conversation. And so I want to show you several things. One is some more deeper stuff about Asana. So you don't want to worry about tagging and doing any descriptions when they're just in the Facebook friendship request, because if they don't add you, then you've just wasted your time. But once they are, then you're going to add some information about them. So I always put where I started to know them from, so Facebook, or it'd be Instagram, and I would say where I know them, because down the road for an assistant, your husband helps you, whoever, you want them to kind of have an idea. Okay, then the other thing I can do is if I am talking to a person, and I wouldn't go and do this until you actually go to message them, because it's one extra step, but I like to either put, like, see, this is taking one extra step. If I would wait until I actually message them, a direct link to their private messaging, and I put that here so that down the road, anytime I need to contact them, I just click and it goes straight to their private message. So I just can type it in. So that's really cool. Other thing is you can make tags. And so Asbury is where I went to college. So I tag all of my prospects that are from my college as Asbury, because if I ever want to go here and search my tag Asbury, it's going to show up everybody that I have tagged that went to school with me. And so you could be like, okay, this month I'm going to, so these are, look, coach prospects, no for now, people in my challenge group, past challengers. These are all with that tag. So you could be like, okay, this month I am going to put in my prospect all my doctors and dentists, all my classmates from second grade, all my college friends. You know, just like make it like that, get specific when you're dealing with your warm market. Because your warm market is anybody that you know or have, you know, like a lukewarm market would be like you have ties to, like your husband works with them or your husband went to school with them, so that they would maybe recognize your name in the picture with you. Okay, so that's how you're going to make notes, and then that are like very specific, the main notes, but then how you're going to keep up with what's been going on is you're going to write it in here. So you may say like, and also I wrote notes up here, like if I know like, okay, has 2 kids, looks like they work as a social worker, something like that, I would write that up here. And you can have more than one tag. And then you also can have more than one, so you know in the future, have them more than one project. So I could add a project, and like if I thought she would be a good coach prospect, then I would add that. So then she would also go in my folder for coach prospect. You can also make subtasks. So if there's things like that you need to do, so say this becomes a personally sponsored coach or something, you need to send out announcement. You need to send welcome email. You can do something like that. And so then it would just be going and checking them off, and you get unicorns that literally fly across your screen, which is like, that's worth this whole job alone. Yeah, and so what I also do is if I'm messaging somebody, oops, then I will copy what I've been doing with them, and then I'll go and I will paste it right here. I didn't do that right now, but I'll paste the message so I always have it running. And this also helps you down the road. You do have an assistant that instead of just even going to Facebook, they can read where you are on things. So I hope that makes sense. You want to get them to Facebook. Then you want to get them to your prospect list, or better yet, a specific month list that you're going to have that's going to correspond to the interest group, like I told you, right? Yes, I'm doing a video though. That's going to correspond with this interest group so that you're really spending your time very, very wisely. All right, so once you feel like you've developed your interest list for that month really well, then it's going to be time to private invite them. Okay, so what you're going to do and I'm not going to get into social media or how you do all that kind of stuff right now. I'm just showing you Asana. So basically what you're going to do is, hopefully over the last couple of weeks, you have found reasons to PM them, encourage them to say something nice, and then something for Pinterest. At the very least, comment, like, ask questions on their page, because that's going to make your feed show up in their feed more. So hopefully when you start doing your public invites, then they're already going to see them, and hopefully they'll come to you. But if you need to go to them, our whole goal is to get a group of people to invite conversation. So that's when you would click on this private message, you would go there, you would have a script that you would keep in Evernote. Invite scripts, and I make mine a little bit different. So, hey, I want to see if you saw the post I made yesterday with me in the hot dog costume. Yes, I did make a post like that. On the giveaway I'm doing with my new fitness accountability group. Have you ever heard of Zoodles? That's something you'd like to hear more about. So this was my invite for last month. So this month it's going to be a little different. So basically what I do for scripts is and I'll get into this more later, is I make really interesting public posts that have something I can talk about, something funny, something like a giveaway, something like that. And I just message and I'm like, did you see the post? Do you want to hear more? Real short. And after hey, I would put their name. So I would just copy it and I would click on, I'm not going to do this because that script's not, I would click on messages and I would go and I would just paste this message into her folder and then I would paste it right here so that I knew that I sent it out. And so once I've done that, then I've invited her. So she goes to invite conversations, okay? And I've invited her. And that way I can, one, track, I still have this prospect list, so I'm still developing and commenting the whole month. But that way, if I've already invited them, then that's my whole goal, is to get everybody in this July prospect list out of that and into the invite conversation. And that way, if I ever also want to know, like, where am I with so-and-so, I can search their name and I will see if they show up in the invite conversation. So that's the goal. I mean, you could literally, if you have 100 people on there, you could stay up, or you could do it in 3 days and just copy and paste that script, make it really personable and not salesy. And you're just asking them if they saw your post and if they want to hear more. And you're putting their first name. I actually paid my 9-year-old $1 to do this kind of thing. Okay, so you've got them in invite conversation. So then the next thing is, this is something where you can always go back and revisit, like, wow, look at all these people that I have that I've invited. Let me go back and see if they're interested, see like where we are on things. If they just are not, if they say, get you a response and they say no for now, or, like you need to follow up, then you put them into a new category. So then they go out of invite conversation. They've given you a definite answer. And at any point, if they say no, you need to say, I totally get it. I really think this would be awesome for you, and I'd like you to try it, but I understand now is not the right time, or this may not be for you. Would it be okay if I checked back, ... and set up a when to check back? And then also what you can do is, so if they say, you could do this in Asana or you could do this in Evernote. If, let's say, Hannah Smith tells me no, but then she gives me permission to, in September, follow up, I could either make a new project in here that's follow up in September, or I decided to make one in Evernote, and it really depends on what you want to do. And I made a big notebook that says follow up. And then what I'm doing is every time someone gives me permission, I just add their name, and there's a little check mark, and it'd be even better if I linked to their Facebook thing. So then during September, I just go click, 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 and go through and check them off because they've given me permission to follow up. Now, if somebody is like, yeah, tell me more, then you're going to keep them in the invite conversation and take them through the 5-step invite, which is so important that you get to know. You don't skip ahead. Keep them in the 5-step invite until they say yes. They give you an answer, either follow up, no for now, or maybe they don't ever give you a response and you're like, okay, it's time to get out of here. Or they are already a coach, then I would just check them off if they're already a coach, or put them in somewhere that is already a coach, that is a folder that says already a coach. But once you send them a link, then you're going to put them in sent a link, because these are even like more qualified leads. Now, some of these people it's months and months and they don't respond. But if you put them into a prospect list, then that can be something that you're like, okay, once or twice a week, you just click on that prospect list and you're making sure you're giving them Facebook love so that they see your post and it reminds them. So you're not tracking them down, but they're coming to you. So of course the goal when you get them to send a link is to have all these people then move on to, so the next folder. So we've got Facebook friend requests, prospects, your month prospect. So each month basically what you would try to do is get this empty, and then you would just change the month name to the next month's name. You don't need to make a new project. To invite conversation, you're talking to them, to send a link to either one of these, like no response, follow up, no for now, or you want to add them to either your challenge group or your PS coaches. And I also have one that's for coach prospects. Think people that maybe were interested in coaching have asked me about it, or I just think would be good. So that once again, when I'm like, oh, what do I do? I've invited all my 100 people. I can go back through my follow-ups, go back through my coach prospects. Okay, so I'm just moving these around. So yeah, after you send a link, they're either going to be a personally sponsored coach. So I want you to go ahead and set that up, even though you're not going to have any coaches right now, but maybe you do. Maybe you get someone right away. And then they are already going to be in here probably, unless they just came to you out of the blue. So you're going to, remember, go to the quick way is task, write their name, write what project they are. I'm going to assign them to a project. You can write a quick description, and that will add them. Or the other way is to scroll to the bottom and click Add New Task here. And you can move these around if you want to change priority. And these little symbols, what this means is it's where I have people located in my downline. So like A2 is my second business center, Ashley 2 on the right leg. This is A1, I need to write what leg. I have some that are under Sam. Kendra is under my sister Gracie, and I think she is on the left leg. So Gracie, left leg. So that way I can look real quick. And I've got, for my personally sponsored coaches, I have their Facebook message. I have a file linked to them. So you either want to get them in PS coaches, or you want to get them into your challenge group that's starting that next month. So now this is because you will start forgetting everybody in your challenge group, and you don't want to have to keep looking at your Facebook group. So now I've got, this one's empty. Now I've got all my people in my challenge group right here. So anytime I need to check on them, I can click and I can see where they are on things. I can make tasks if I need to. As I keep up with them, I, copy and paste what we're talking about. And I also keep down here, I'll go and I'll tag everybody in each challenge from the challenge group that I want them to see it. I'll do it once, I'll tag it all, and then I'll copy and paste it here. So then every post, all I have to do is copy and go to I'm not gonna do this because that would be weird, but let's say this is a challenge group. I go and I just paste it, and then I just would have to click on their names then. So it's, instead of like remembering and typing it out, then I just click on everybody's names and it tags them. So it shows up in their feed. Okay, so that is basically what I want you to set up and work on now. You've got Facebook friend request prospects. You want to have your month prospects, the people you're developing and investing in your feed. And then you want to move them to the invite conversation. So you need to make your goal of how many prospects you want in your container. Like, how many people do you want to invite the next month? If you're like, you know what, I'm going all the way, I want to invite 100, 200, then you need to have 100 prospects in there. And so the next month, it's just going to be copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, and put them into that invite conversation. That's your goal. And what you want to do is, I suggest not stringing this out over a whole month. I suggest day one, it's not actually day one. It's really going to be the way our Thrive calendar works. It's going to be the Monday that is included in the first week of the month. So let me show you kind of what that means. So for July, it's really like day one is really June 29th, because we've got the first days of the month of July in this week. So I'm inviting to my challenge group all this week and all halfway through the next week. The preseason starts here. So instead of doing a little bit trickle out, it's like game on when this first Monday today starts. And I have been making public posts in Canva that look good. I have been collecting different ideas on Pinterest or funny videos that I think would go viral and putting them in a folder, because I know that my feed needs to be really good this week especially, and I need to get lots of engagement even on my non posts. So basically what I'm saying is, with the way that I suggest doing it, so you lock in Success Club by the middle of the month, is that you go hard and you literally copy and paste invite with a really good personal, not an overwhelming script this first week and a half of the month. So go ahead and set that up, and then we will be done with the second step of using Asana.